everyone, welcome back to Facts on the Farm. Today we're going to talk about things that are living or non-living and how do we decide the difference. So to find out if an organism is a living organism, there are three characteristics that we have to look at. One of them is, does it grow? There we are, we're already growing on our board. Does it reproduce? Well, there we go, we're already reproducing. And the last one is, does it need nutrients to live? Oh, and there it is, our nutrients. And there's three types of nutrients that living things need. One thing is they need to breathe. They also need food and usually water. So here we go. Our board is all set. We're gonna go around the farm and decide, are these objects living or non-living? And we're gonna use all these things to decide. The first object we have today is an apple. Is an apple a living or a non-living organism? Let's look and decide. Let's follow our list. Does it grow? This apple started on a tree, and it started with a little flower or a blossom on that tree. When it was on that tree, it did grow. It grew from a little blossom, a little flower, and it kept growing from a tiny little apple to this nice big apple. Does it reproduce? That's a really great question. To reproduce means it will make other apples. So can this apple make another apple? I don't know. I've never seen that. I don't see them just jumping around and having new apples. But I want to show you something. I'm going to cut this apple open. And what do you think we're going to find inside of it? My little knife. Whoop! That seed and plant it in the ground, it's going to grow into an apple tree, which will make new apples. So yes, it will reproduce. But what about nutrients? Plants don't breathe the way we breathe. They don't breathe air in and air out through our lungs. They breathe in through their leaves. So does it need food? Absolutely. It needs nutrients from the ground, and it also needs sunshine, and it does drink water too. So yes, this apple is a living organism. All right, so here's our second object. I have a nice pretty rock here. Is this rock living or non-living? I could put a face on it like my kids do at home all the time and turn it into a pet rock. But does that mean it's living? Nope, it's not living. This rock is not going to grow. It's not going to change shape unless it breaks and it becomes smaller. Does it reproduce and make new rocks? Nope, it does not make new rocks. There's no seeds in this. It doesn't have babies growing in it. It's a rock. Does it breathe? Nope. Does it need food? Nope. And it doesn't drink anything either. It's just a rock, so it's non-living. What about bunnies? Are bunnies living or non-living? They're definitely living, aren't they, Allie? Allie's feeding them food, so they do need nutrients. They have their own rabbit food, and there's their water. And do they breathe? Rabbits do breathe. Do you know what they breathe with? They breathe air through their what? Lungs. So they breathe air through their lungs. Do they reproduce? Rabbits make lots of babies. So we're even hoping maybe this girl rabbit and this boy rabbit will make some baby bunnies someday. And do they grow? They absolutely do grow. They grow from little baby bunnies to big bunnies. So what about my friends the cows? Of course they're living. They do grow. They start out as a small calf, which we talked about in one of our first videos about baby animals. And then they grow up to be these big cows. They reproduce, so yes, they make calves. And they need nutrients. So let's talk about nutrients. Living things take nutrients different ways. So our cows, they're here eating their food. They're going to put it in their mouth and they're going to chew it. We eat food and drink water, and our food goes through one stomach. You know how many stomachs these cows have? Girls, how many stomachs do you have? They have 4 stomachs. Food through 4 stomachs. And then it turns into our magical milk. So what about our famous Dee Dee, the cow here? Is she living or non-living? She looks like our other cows, but she's not living. She even likes to dress up like a living person. She has her mask on too, but she's not living. She's made of plaster. So she does not grow. She stays this size all the time. She does not need food or water to be healthy, and they don't reproduce. So there's going to be no new babies. This milk, is this milk living or non-living? We just talked about how those cows were eating all that healthy food and they were living and they made this great milk for us. But does milk grow? It doesn't grow on its own. Does it need food and water to survive? It does not. But it does give living creatures good nutrients so that they can grow healthy. So milk is good for living creatures, but milk is not living. And does it reproduce? It does not reproduce. It will not have baby milk. So school milk cartons aren't baby milks. So this milk is non-living. How about this mulch here? Is this living or non-living? This can kind of be a trick to you. This mulch used to be part of a tree. Do you see that big tree over there? That tree is living. And that tree does grow. It grew from a little seed into a little tree to this beautiful big tree. And this mulch used to be part of it, just like sticks are part of a tree. But this mulch is not going to grow anymore. It's not part of the tree anymore. So when it was part of a tree, it was living, but now it is non-living. It will not grow anymore. It will not need food or water to be what it is, and it does not reproduce. But trees do reproduce. So trees are living, but any sticks or mulch or bark that you might find, those are not living anymore.
To help explain that a little bit, the apple, which is part of the tree as well as the mulch, the apple had seeds in it, so the apple could specifically reproduce, but the mulch does not have any seeds in it, so it can't reproduce.
Is this living or non-living? It came from a seed, so it reproduces. And when this gets big enough, it's going to make its own seeds that it can reproduce with. This is a plant, and it's going to keep growing. It's going to grow really big, and it's going to give us oats pretty soon. So this is going to keep growing every day. Pretty soon we're going to see a nice tall plant. It will be harvested, and it eats. It doesn't eat food like the cows eat from their mouths or like we eat through our mouths. This eats through little holes inside of it. So there's holes all along it, and it will take in food from the sunshine. It's a nutrient. It will take in water from the ground through its roots, and it will take in nutrients that we feed it, like manure. Manure is a great nutrient for our plants. So things reproduce differently. We give birth to live animals. Reptiles have eggs. Mammal, the platypus, lays eggs. And plants, they produce seeds. So everything reproduces differently, everything grows differently, everything gets its nutrients differently. But all living things need those three things. Thanks for being part of our lesson on living and non-living organisms. Remember, if it's living, it's going to grow, it will reproduce, and it needs nutrients. See you next time.